I've been hearing a lot from a lot of women that men are very literal, right? Um, and I I didn't really fully. I won't say I didn't understand it, but me as a man, that I'm not a literal man. Like I understand nuance, and I have a very my creative side of my brain is very active. I'm an artsy type of person. I'm not. I think very in a very abstract way. I can think literally. I can think logically, and all that stuff. But I also have the capacity to see things from the abstract, right? Men don't like in general. Men don't, and I 100% agree with that sentiment that men are just we're too literal, and men confuse logic with literal. Men are not more logical than women; they're more literal than women, which shows that they don't understand abstract thought. Because women understand, the difference between being literal and being abstract. Men don't. Men don't. Women are better at logic than men. Again, this whole Akash Singh thing, and you guys don't know who Akash Singh is, we're gonna get into it, but I- like it's Aisha Curry 2.0, but even worse, like it's even more grasping at straws, even more so. And I'm gonna show you why.
Akash Singh's wife told him when they first met that he was gonna be her first.
My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Now, let me ask you this:
wow.
do you believe her?
Well, I certainly don't. Here's why.
So one time I met this guy on Tinder and I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to fucking hook up. And I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore. Oh my god.
Bro fell for a level 1 scam.
I haven't researched the rest of that clip or anything like that, right? But my guess is she wasn't she come to find out it was some funny story why her asshole was sore. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't that they had sex, it was something else. If I had to guess. If I had to guess. But that's why he cut it off right there.
My God. And by the way, just so we're clear, I don't have a problem with his wife having a past. She's an attractive woman that went to a party college. That's to be expected. What I genuinely find disturbing about the situation is the fact that Akash not only fell for the most obvious lie, but he's also now stuck with a woman that takes pride in lowering his status in public.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses.
She's out here reminiscing.
Remember what I said, how men are so literal. So, hooking up is a vague term. Hooking up could just mean kissing all night. It could mean fondling. It could mean a bunch of shit. But people use hooking up in that way. Like a lot of times, like they don't mean, having sex with one another. First and foremost. Secondly, her podcast is basically her. She's like a comedian herself. I'm not saying like she actually is like by trade a comedian, but I'm saying her podcast is a bunch of like, she says like a bunch of bullshit, like funny shit, anecdotal, little funny shits or whatever. Who fucking knows what's serious and what's not serious on there? That wasn't y'all act like she was fucking getting interviewed by Barbara Walters or some shit. She was just talking shit. So that's whatever. But popping my pussy just means dancing. That's all that means. In this instance, popping her pussy is just dancing. So that means that she was fucking all these white boys? No. She was at frat parties dancing with white boys, living her best life. That's what she's saying.
About her past on the internet, effectively telling the entire world that Akash does not measure up. That is by far the biggest cardinal sin a woman can commit against a man. Even the Bible says that. And whose fault is it? Akash.
Wait, what? First of all, they're not Christian. Second of all, what? How is she saying that he doesn't? What are you talking about? How did we get here? Y'all just be making up stuff.
not hers. Akash deluded himself into thinking that he actually had enough dating experience to properly vet a woman. And as much as I want to feel sorry for him, I honestly can't, because in my position, I see this all the time. Men who turn their nose up and wag their finger at the skill of learning game, the skill of learning how to properly interact with women. They're the first ones to call game wrong, childish, manipulative, but they always end up like this, used. If you're a man watching,
how is he being used? He's still with that woman. They're still happily married. Last time I checked, she's still more attractive than anybody you get. He's still richer than you. He's more popular than you. He's more successful than you. She's more popular than you, and she's more successful than you. I'm not who is getting used here? I don't understand.
this right now, I don't want this to happen to you. I don't want this for you. The position Akash is forced to be
He doesn't want, he is saying to you right now, he doesn't want you to be in a happy relationship with an attractive woman. That's what he said. I don't want this for you. I don't want you to be married and in a happy, healthy relationship with a woman and both of you guys be wildly successful and, live in fucking New York penthouses or where the fuck they live in apartments and shit. I don't want that for you. I want you to be a bum ass fool on the couch.
right now is so easily avoidable. It's a common talking point in the dating world. So common, in fact, I've already made a video covering how to avoid this particular mistake and many others like it. It's called The Laws of the Game. Go to my page to access it for free. And
Oh, so you're recruiting, you're selling something. Okay. You're not a grifter at all, bro. But anyways, also something that he said that was very interesting, and this is what all these men are kind of crashing out about, and this is what they crashed out about with Aisha Curry. It's always about a man's image, because most men, I'm not saying this about Akash and I'm not saying this about Stephen Curry, because they seem like reasonable men. They seem more like me in my mind, in my estimation, how they view their wives. So my wife isn't an extension of me, right? I don't look at her in that way in most instances. In some instances, we're extensions of each other. Don't get me wrong. But overall, my wife isn't an extension of me. She is her own autonomous human being. My wife is intelligent. She got an education all on her own. She can make money all on her own. She can take care of herself. She takes care of me. She takes care of our kids. She is fully, completely independent of me, right? She is her own person. I don't think my wife couldn't embarrass me. She couldn't embarrass me because whatever my wife would say about me, it would fall into one of two categories. She is either going to say something that is true about me, which I will accept because it's true, and she can say whatever she wants to say about me because whatever it was, especially in these instances, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. She can say whatever she wants to say about me, and she can say whatever she wants to say about herself. If she says something about me, though, like again, if it's true, I accept it. If it's not, I reject it. I'm not embarrassed either way, right? And then if she says something that is about her, what the fuck does that have to do with me? Oh, I was pussy popping in these frat houses. What does that got to do with me? We've been married for fucking 14 years, together for 18. I don't give a fuck. My wife was twerking and pussy popping in clubs before we met. So what? So what? Who cares? And I was slanging ding-a-ling in clubs and shit. Like, nigga, we was young. Like, what are you talking about? I was grinding up on girls. Girls was grinding up on me. What is the difference? Y'all be wanting to control these women so bad, bro. You look like a fucking weirdo. What are you talking about? But that's what they're saying about this woman now. Now she's the new Aisha Curry, right? So now they're coming after her because these idiots don't understand jokes because they're too fucking literal.
I say that with a wife like this, you do not need no damn enemies. If you thought that we were done with the Akash terrible wife using him for his money saga, then you got another thought coming. We are actually far from over, but shout out to the internet because y'all stay undefeated. I've seen names for this guy of like changing his name from Akash to Akash Machine. I've seen people call his current wife Aisha Chicken Curry, which is, y'all ain't shit, but I'm not either. Nevertheless, it's crazy when a comedian's life becomes the butt of the joke.
Not racism. Not you finding the racist jokes to be funny. Huh, that's interesting.
joke. But while Myron Gaines is up on his Twitter continuously putting belt to ass, and while his wife continues to do podcasts.
Imagine Dick riding Myron Gaines in 2025. Like, I could never imagine Dick riding that dude. He was an idiot from the beginning, but imagine still Dick riding Myron Gaines in 2025 after all the times he's been exposed.
Comedian's life becomes the butt of the joke. But while Myron Gaines is up on his Twitter continuously putting belt to ass, and while his wife continues to do podcasts talking about him through her sad humiliation ritual, we must continue to collect the clips so that we continue to have this conversation. Sacrificing your man's reputation for some clout is absolutely nasty work, ma'am. But thanks for the content. Without further ado. Now, before I give you guys updates on the back and forth beef and her current comments on the recently dropped podcast from like a couple of hours ago of her addressing the entire situation, I think that it's important to go over some additional clips that I have never seen before, which continue to highlight not only her disrespectful behavior, but just how cringe that all of this is. Let's go.
Can I say this is the best husband I've ever seen? And I'm not even saying that hyperbolically. It's a little annoying. And then, like,
Why
he's
don't you
just
guys
getting in
each
shape.
other off already.
We
Go
might have.
ahead.
Oh, what are y'all doing this whole time? Drake is your Taylor Swift.
100%.
Exactly.
I'm toxic. How do you think I have to keep up with her?
No, he be saying some boss ass shit. What is the stuff he says to you that I'm just like, that's fire?
Oh, now just puts his dick out on the table.
There's a difference being a scammer and being a hustler. Two very different things.
Okay.
I'm a hustler who scams a little bit. I'm not a
That was-
scammer
I'm
who
not
hustles.
gonna lie, that was sexy, and that's why I'm actively trying to have a.
Wait, he used to sell like iPhones, buy iPhones and sell them.
Have you seen his Instagram thumbnail? You know, I've shown that to multiple dudes.
He has
I've been
saved
like,
under his
yo, look
favorite.
at my wife's podcast partner's husband. It's crazy. Ain't that crazy? I've shown it to multiple guys.
I've also shown it to multiple people.
If
I'm meeting Nav's dad tomorrow, and I will say I'm fucking nervous because
What?
he
Why?
has not to be weird, but he has big dick energy, and he's
It's
obviously
based off stories.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a don. Let's face it.
But thank you guys for being on the main character pod. We love you. We hate you.
I guess
we respect
we
you.
love you, but I actually love you and want to fuck
What?
all of them.
What?
Actually love you and want to fuck all of them. Love you.
Wait a minute.
Remember how these dudes crashed out when Aisha Curry, like, took off her ring on the fucking show? Like clearly scripted show where she took off her ring when the guy came out dancing. Dudes were like, oh, she took her ring off. You motherfuckers are dumb. Y'all don't understand comedy. If you think, did you hear Akash? Akash was flirting with the dude too. Like, that's the joke. That you don't get it? Like, they're all joking. It's all a joke. Nobody was serious. It might have been some truth in there as far as like what it sounded like was they all liked that guy. That's what it sounded. It sounded like they were just bigging him up as like a friend group. I don't know what they said about Akash. It could have went back and forth. You just clipped out the parts where they said good things about him. It's so obvious what you guys are doing. It's dumb. You're dumb. You guys only think in a literal sense, especially when it applies to women. When it comes to men, though, you guys are abstract. Now it's, oh, he was joking. Don't take him seriously. Oh, we're just talking shit. It's just locker room talk. Now it's abstract, right? When it comes to men. But when it comes to women, everything is fucking literal. As if women aren't funny too. As if women can't be raunchy too. I think if I had to guess, I think that woman, to some extent, same as Aisha Curry, they overcompensate for being good women, good girls, the proverbial good girls, because both of them are. And they do stuff to like kind of, seem a little bit more edgy. That looks like an example of that right there. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's innocent. But I'm just saying, my mind doesn't go, oh, or she wants to fuck his friend. Like, I don't think that. Now, again, if you're, or not again, but if you're asking me, would my wife be okay with me making those statements about her friends? No. Nope. Would I be okay with my wife making those statements about my friends? I honestly don't care. But the reason why I don't care is because my wife is also the proverbial good girl. You know what I mean? Like, I know she's actually a good person and a good woman, and she like wouldn't ever like cheat on me or like disrespect me in that way. So I like if she got up there and was like, oh yeah, I wanted to fuck that, like same type of convo, I wouldn't even think anything of it. I mean, it would be out of her character, but like it wouldn't make me think that she really wanted to fuck this dude or something like that. You know what I mean? I'm not in their relationship, so I'm not projecting my own feelings on their relationship. I don't think it's right or wrong, but it sounded as if it gave the appearance as if that's how they all talk, all on and off camera. It seems like everybody was okay with it. The woman's wife was okay with it. The Akash was okay with it. It seems like everybody was okay with that. That's what it sounded like. If they're in their thing, even if they're having orgies, who cares? That's their thing, brother. It doesn't make it disrespectful just because you don't have a fucking sense of humor, though.
I didn't know that she said this while he was sitting there.
It was at this moment that he knew.
While he was sitting right there. Like, this is correct. Now watch this. Okay, let's play a little bit.
But I actually love you and want to fuck all of you.
Take a look at this screen right here, right? Like, notice what is going on. I'm gonna go frame by frame. So first off, you have Akash just looking ever so deeply into her eyes, smiling, nervously grabbing his fingers. Just, please love me. He has the most appropriate response to all of this, which is just straight up embarrassment.
It's so hilarious that now you're a body reader expert. You don't know shit. He was just sitting there. You don't know that, man. You don't know anything about that, man. Shut the hell up. So remember what he said. He said that now they're trying to say like she's a gold digger and all that stuff, right? They're mad. Again, this is what I'm saying. If you listen to their just how they talk, I haven't even consumed a ton of her content. But again, I understand comedy. And I think I'm good at differentiating between a joke, even when it has some truth in it and the truth. But just it doesn't matter though. Just listen to what she's saying.
How do you and your husband split finances?
We don't.
We don't.
If you want to work, all for that. But like any man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his account, that's a fucking red flag. His money is our money and my money is my money. I know so many girls in my life personally that have been with guys that weren't transparent about money and they ended up being terrible in other aspects and like people ended up breaking up in divorces. So that is actually my number one. They must be generous with their finances from day one. That means paying for the first date and everything. I know that it's rough out there, inflation. Like I'm not saying to just like waste it on every single girl, but if a girl is special, you should be courting her properly.
There was not, but that's what got these dudes in a fucking tizzy. Like, and mind you, all this started with Myron Gaines' goofy ass because Akash correctly called out Myron Gaines for being anti-black and saying like, I think he's a sucker for saying he doesn't date black women even though he's black. And I don't trust men that say that they won't date people that come from, that are part of the very group that they're a part of because that's where you come from. Common sense shit, right? And Akash, you ain't got to be a black man to say that. We all should be able to understand that. Yeah, I don't date white women, but you're fucking white. Why not? Why do you hate white women and you're a white man? That's weird. Why do you hate black women and you're a black man? That's weird. Why do you hate Indian women and you're from India? You're from Pakistan. You're from whoever, you know what I mean? Like Istanbul, it doesn't matter. Why do you hate why do you hate the women that raised you? That's crazy. I understand that. And that's all Akash did. He called out Myron and correctly so. Now Myron is going on this fucking witch hunt trying to paint Akash and his wife out to be like a terrible representation of a couple. When all this woman is doing is just having fun and talking shit on a fucking podcast. Now listen to what she said. And she said it's not satire, by the way, but listen, because obviously a lot of stuff that they say is satirical. That's why she had to put this up there to say it's not satire. Just so we're clear, because you dummies don't know how to read a room. You don't know context clues. It would help. Listen to what she said, though.
Misconception about me is that maybe I'm a gold digger. I like nice things, but I didn't marry my husband for that reason because he did not make money when I first met him.
Wait, by that definition, I am a gold digger. I married my husband for nice things.
Yeah, Akash was not making anything when we first got together. I fell in love with him like an idiot. He was a walking red flag. He had a 1-bedroom flex with a styrofoam wall and a makeshift headboard. So no, I'm not a gold digger. But now I reap the benefits of being with him when he was poor. When you're thinking about investing in someone and having kids, success also means that they're disciplined. It means that they work hard. So transitive property, it means they're going to work hard in their relationship.
You know what's here's why these dudes are fucking such raging hypocrites. They be the same men talking about you got to find a woman to build with you. These women just want you for their money. She just said I dated him and I got with him well before he was successful. He had a 1-bedroom flex. I don't know what that is, with a styrofoam wall or what. Listen to her story, which is the story of a lot of women. Most women, you would even say, maybe not he's that poor, but just he wasn't wealthy or well off or whatever. And then she was with him while he was building, while he was shooting in the gym. She was with him. And y'all are crashing out on her. Because she has a podcast which is 85% satire, and she makes a shit ton of jokes, and she's married to a comedian that understands satire. And now you guys are taking everything she's saying and scrutinizing it and taking it literally because you guys are idiots and you hate women. And Myron got called out. You're doing all of this stuff because you're fucking hero Myron Gaines, who has been exposed many a times for being a fucking hypocrite. From not even sleeping with the woman he proclaimed to have been dating for a year or something like that. Never sleeping with her. Never sleeping with the woman he was dating for a year. That's your hero. That's your hero. Getting used for his money, getting used for his platform, just so he can be with an attractive woman on paper so he can keep up appearances, because all you men care about is your perception and how other men view you because you're homosocial. And Akash just called him out for being a hypocrite, for being anti-Black. And that's how we got here. Try harder.